Peace, peace everyone. Greetings, balance, wholeness. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in here with me once again, Amina Flower Moon. So today I'm sharing a video with you. I actually filmed it like 2 weeks ago, and it's sharing the process of me making kombucha, making an herbal kombucha. And it's really exciting, and I'm really excited to share it with you. I do ramble a bit in the video, so hang in there with me, please. It was one of the first videos I recorded. I'm really just getting into YouTube and sharing my the knowledge and wisdom that I've gained over the past few years. So hang in there with me in the video. And I realized watching it again that there was some topics that I touched on that I wasn't really too clear about, particularly about like growing your SCOBY and how to do it. And also like measurements of sugar to tea when you're making the tea that you actually are going to ferment with the SCOBY or the starter tea, things like that. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm here for you, okay? So I hope you enjoy the video and I hope you learn a lot. Alright, enjoy. So here is my SCOBY. To the untrained eye, I'm sure it looks disgusting. But if you like to drink kombucha, you better get to know a SCOBY, or at least get to understand what they are, because SCOBYs play a huge role in fermenting the tea that we all love, well, that many of us love, called kombucha. And it gets expensive buying kombucha, so I've decided that I'm just going to make my own and have it on tap, you know, because I love it. It's full of lots of probiotics and healthy yeasts that can help combat candida yeast, which I know I have a lot of overgrowth of in my body and I'm dealing with. And my daughter loves it, which is great. You know, children love it because it's like soda, it's fizzy, and you know, obviously they like all the added flavors and things, but you know, it's like whatever works, you know. But I want to show y'all how I make it. So I started my SCOBY. How did I grow my SCOBY? So to grow my SCOBY, I bought a bottle of raw kombucha. I like the GT's brand. I bought a bottle of raw kombucha, the blue and white label. I mean, I'm not endorsing his brand at all, but I like it. You know, it's clean, no added sugar, no added stuff, just straight, pure, raw, unflavored kombucha. And that's what you need to start to make a SCOBY. The cheap way. You can buy like kits and stuff, but I'm like, nah, I like things simple, straight to the point. So I went ahead, bought a bottle of GT's. I have some black tea. You can use black or green to grow your SCOBY. Black or green tea. I think I use black tea. Made some tea, added some sugar to it, let it cool all the way down. And I use a stainless steel pot here that I'm going to use to make my kombucha tea now. Poured the cooled down tea from the pot into here, and then I poured the whole bottle of GT's in there. And that was on June 10th. So it's been 17 days? 18 days. And this is what the SCOBY's grown to. So here's my beautiful SCOBY. The tea smells really strong that it's in, and it's happy it's growing. So right now what I'm going to do is go ahead and brew some tea. Now, you really can use any tea once you get to this step. You're going to see a lot of mixed advice out there on the internet. Some people are going to say, well, you know, you should just use green tea. It's not traditional for you not using green or black tea because the kombucha needs the caffeine. Whatever. I am going to use herbs. I'm going to make an herbal tea. Let me show you what I got here. So I got some astragalus. That's going in. Got some ginger, that's going in, and I have some soursop leaves. So that is what I'm going to make my kombucha tea out of. So yeah, let's get going. So first, I'm trying to decide if okay, sorry. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't measure, y'all. I eyeball. I just go until the ancestors tell me it's enough. I don't measure nothing. You know, I use my intuition. So, you know, just throw in the soursop leaves. And if you don't know the health benefits of soursop, look it up. I ain't going into it. I'm not, but the soursop fruit is a superfood, and you know they come from the same plant, different, you know, similar constituents. But anyway, the soursop's in. Sorry, I am a novice at making videos, so I'm just doing my best. Straggleish, just eyeballing it, maybe about that much. And I'm gonna chop up the ginger and add it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so ginger's in there. Sorry, it's kind of dark. There we go. So the ginger's in, and I also decided last minute to add a little fenugreek. So that's that, and now I'm gonna go ahead, add the water, get the tea brewing. Second thought, I realized that I probably should have done like a decoction of the roots, the astragalus, the ginger, and the fenugreek, but and then added the soursop. But you know, hindsight, things are always clearer. But for next time, but it's all in there. I'm making a pretty big batch. I'm probably gonna add a little more water since it takes, you know, 2 weeks to brew. So I'm probably gonna add some more water, make a pretty big batch, and then once it's cooled, I might add a floral herb as well. I'll have to see what I have in the cabinet. Maybe some hibiscus. Actually, I think I'm gonna go with hibiscus if I can find some. I think I have some. So, yeah, I will come back and show you what it's looking like once I get to that point. Okay, so the tea's done. I ended up adding some hawthorn berries. I did not have hibiscus. It was a hawthorn. You see there is one right there. I love hawthorn berries. They're sweet. They're good for the heart, physically and spiritually, energetically, and my heart needs a lot of loving right now. So I guess the hibiscus was really hawthorn in my mind, and my body was saying I needed hawthorn. And so yeah, so all together we got soursop, we got ginger, fenugreek, and some hawthorn berries. I'm gonna give it a little taste. It's pretty good. I mean, I like tea that doesn't have to be super like sweet and super, what's the word, I don't know, I can't think of the word, but I drink a lot of herbal teas, a lot of bitter teas and stuff, so this tastes really good to me. So now I'm waiting for it to cool. You see there's steam. I had covered it after I turned off the heat and let the remaining heat just kind of penetrate the herbs a little more. It was on the fire, or on the heat I should say. This is a silicone spoon, by the way. It was on the heat for I guess maybe like almost an hour, 40 minutes give or take. And now that it's off, letting it cool, got the SCOBY right here. And so what I want to talk about real quick is making kombucha. You don't actually need a SCOBY to make a batch of kombucha. What you need is the tea that the kombucha is sitting in. This is a starter. So really, all I would need to do is let this tea cool and put it in here with some sugar and some of the starter tea, because the probiotics from my SCOBY are present in the starter tea. So all I need is some starter tea, and then it would ferment. But I'm going to put my SCOBY in because I only have this one jar. All my other like larger jars are occupied, and my SCOBY needs to eat. It needs some sugar. So I'm going to add SCOBY and some starter tea once this cools. And I'll show you all that once the tea's cooled off. I'm going to add the tea in here. I'm going to add some sugar. I'm going to add maybe like a quarter cup or half a cup of starter tea. I'm just going to eyeball it, you know, but as much starter tea as I feel is necessary. And with the sugar I measure, because you can over feed the SCOBY and it could die. Just like if humans eat too much, you could die. Or if you drink too much water all at the same time, it could kill you. So, you know, they're living. The SCOBY is living. It eats and it breathes just in its own way. So anyway, once this yummy tea cools off, I'll come back to you and show you that final step. Sorry y'all, I started moving forward and I forgot to record. Okay, so the tea, I just strained it. It's not fully cooled, but I wanted to add the sugar while it's warm so it dissolves more easily. Here is all the starter tea that I have. This is like a 34-ounce cup. Ignore the the label, just recycling. It's a really nice jar. So yeah, that's a lot of starter tea. It didn't even all fit. There's still a little bit in there with the SCOBY. And I want to say it's maybe like a half of a cup, maybe a full cup. And I'll probably add a little bit more because there's a lot of tea. But, you know, so I added, sugar-wise, I added like a third and a half of a third. So I don't know what the heck that would come to. But I'm just going to kind of go by taste, you know, because I've made kombucha before and I know, you know, kind of how sweet it should be. By taste, I mean, I'm not going to drink it, just, you know, dab a little on my tongue to see. And the great thing about this is, you know, in the end, I won't be consuming any sugar because the probiotics, and the culture, the bacteria and yeast culture, the SCOBY, and those present in the starter tea, they will consume all the sugar and produce even more probiotics, so it'll be very dense in probiotics. Well, I know a lot of people feel like, you know, is kombucha really that healthy? You know, it's yeast and da-da-da-da-da. But really, all yeast isn't bad. You know, like, all fungi isn't bad. Like, I mean, we look at all these medicinal mushrooms out here that, even culinary mushrooms, but I mean, more so medicinally, these medicinal mushrooms out here, you know, they are exemplary in healing. And then we even look to psilocybin, so-called magic mushrooms, ceremonial mushrooms, like, you know, they're not all bad. And the key, what I'm realizing to healing for me, is a variety of different fermented foods. So I make the kombucha, I make water kefir, I make milk kefir, I make sauerkraut, and I make beaten carrot fermented beaten carrot salad, whatever you want to call it. And I ferment as much as I can. I ferment garlic and I ferment all kind of veggies. I make sauces that I ferment. I make like raw soups that I ferment. There's zucchini and different kinds of squashes and onions. So, you know, I even ferment my grains. You know, I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying that's what I'm doing. That's what works for me. That's what my body's telling me to do. That's how spirit has led me. And yeah, so I love that, you know, I can get a variety of fermented foods and a variety of probiotics from them just by something so simple. It needs a little more sugar. So simple as, you know, just making this stuff at home. Super healing. And I think that it's even more powerful to make, I mean, to make all your foods at home, but especially these fermented foods. I'm just adding a little more because they are alive. I mean, our foods are alive too. Everything, you know, the veggies that we cook, all these foods are alive. You know, they're all alive. But the thing about the fermented foods is these are living organisms that we're bringing into our temples. And it's just a powerful thing. You know, just like cooking your food. You stir your intention into it, you know. And there's a lot of power in taking back your healing and doing these things ourselves, not relying on having to go to Sprouts to get a damn kombucha. Like, make your own. It's so simple. I mean, it takes some time, but, like, it's simple. And this SCOBY will create even more little baby SCOBYs. And I will have kombucha for life if I take care of my SCOBYs correctly. So it's just a matter of, you know, getting up off our asses, like, and stop being slaves to our convenience. But I'm going to digress because I'll just start going off on tangents. But anyway, here is the tea. I've added sugar and it's sweet enough at this point. So I'm just going to let it cool down a little more. And then I'll bring you back and show you, you know, the transfer, if I can. I don't know, I only have one hand. Either before or after the transfer of this into this, and then that'll be the kombucha. And then, of course, in a couple of weeks, when it's finished, I'll come back and let you all see. But yeah, this is the kombucha I'm using. I don't really care about the brand. It's just organic cane sugar. It's cane juice that was evaporated. So, yeah. Anywho, I'll show you the finished product in a moment. Alright, y'all. So, this is the finished product. The Scoby's in. The tea's in. The starter tea is in. And so, like I said, you don't actually need the Scoby to make a batch of kombucha. You need the Scoby to make the starter tea. Once you have starter tea, like once this batch is done, I can save part of this as starter tea and use it for the next batch. So you really don't need the Scoby to make a batch, but I'm going to put it in here. I think I mentioned it already, just so that I can get some sugar so that it can eat and be fed, because they need to be fed. I've had Scobies that died because I stopped giving them sweet tea, you know, to eat, and they died. So mine's in there. So I let the tea cool down to about room temp, or a little cooler than room temp. I probably should let it cool a little longer, but Samadhi, my daughter, is on her way home, and I'm really trying to get this done before she gets here, because then I'll be preoccupied with running behind her. So anyway, this is the kombucha made with the soursop leaf, the ginger, the hawthorn berries, the fenugreek, and the astragalus. Just all intuitive. You know, I don't know if I might love this brew. I might not like it that much. I'm going to drink it. But I had this really cool idea for my next few batches to make them with, like, specific colors. Like, so they have the color vibration in relation to the energy centers in our bodies, because I'm realizing how much healing I have to do around, like, my sacral chakra. You know, like, man, it's a lot of pent up emotions in my womb space that I'm holding, and my root as well. And all, you know, like, we all need healing, living in this crazy culture in the Western world, and, you know, being so out of touch with nature and out of touch with ourselves for our lives. You know, we all need this healing. So it's just an idea, and I'm thinking maybe my next batch I'll make, like, using all red. So, like, organic roses, organic rose petals, organic hawthorn berries, hibiscus, maybe even, like, some beet juice or something like that, you know, just, like, a lot of reds, a lot of those, like, pigment. And then the next one I'll make a lot of orange, so maybe, like, orange peel and calendula and I don't know, whatever else shows itself to me. And then a yellow, you know, using a lot of yellows. So lemon peels, or just maybe just lemon and ginger, something like that. And so on and so forth. So it's just a fun idea. But this is the finished product. I'm really excited. I'll come back and show you the update in a couple weeks when it's done. And I look forward to sharing with you all. If you have any questions, you want to grow your own Scoby, you want to make your own kombucha, please reach out to me, because I'm always down to share knowledge and to connect. And I'm thinking too, moving forward, I want to make a lot more videos about my fermentables. Like, I'm working on a kefir cheese right now, and the next time I make some milk kefir, I'll show you. Maybe I'll make a video, and some water kefir, and I'm working on, like, a dehydrated granola, because my baby loves cereal, but I'm tired of store-bought stuff. So, you know, once I get a good recipe, I'll cue you in on that. And then, you know, I just want to share recipes. I want to share my process with you all, because it feels very necessary for all of us in these times to be consuming more fermented foods and making our foods ourselves, or as community, or making foods for our neighbors, or making foods for our homegirls, or our family, our friends, and, you know, keeping the love in the food, and eating food made by hands of people we know, versus it could be, you know, You don't want to be eating foods made by people you don't know who have all kind of energy that you have. They might have entities you never know. So I'm always down to share this information, because the way we eat has a lot to do with our health, and it's the key to our healing. And food is it's all about community, and I'm down to share. So let me stop rambling. I'm gonna go. This is my kombucha. I'm excited about it, and I'll update you all in a couple weeks. Okay, so until next time, thank you so much for tuning in, and I love you, and I love myself, and I hope you love yourself too. And until next time, I will see you later. Okay, bye.